Hello. God, I was listening to music before. There we go. Sorry, you gotta move you around. All right. Happy Tuesday. Yeah. So, back to work on this. I finished the one we started last time. Reminder, because I haven't actually done that reminder in a while. If there is anybody that has questions or about the software or wants to see something specific, just let me know. I have no problem showing it, and then it's actually the point of the stream. So don't hesitate to ask. I just work on stuff because, or when there is no question. So, what part was? I think we're just still doing this part. Yeah, we were thinking of working on keyframing this. Yes. Though I have some concerns with I love that you can undo time with with SFM. If you hit undo, copy something, and then redo it, you can still paste it. It comes in handy. Alright, so I might, now that I think about this, just seeing with their arms open there, it might actually be, instead of pointing to oneself, like, inviting to oneself, might actually be. I think that might actually work better. And yeah. So I think what we're going to do is, I can still use what's there. I'm just going to shift it. This actually does include basic motion, but I think that's just wings. Hello, Jurassic. The wings are not included in the rig. Really hard to get. Oh, probably here. There. But if they're hiding in there, that means technically that's not what's included here. I think I'm just gonna say screw this, and I'm gonna grab all the animation for these different areas, other than this one. No, I have to do that one too. Damn. Because if I can, her up and down motion is hard to replicate. But if I'm going to change any timing, I have to do this. So she's just going to be stationary now. Oh, hold on. She's got to get rid of lip sync. There we go. Yeah, now she's not going to be bouncy. But now... I think I like this a little bit more. I think it's going to take some time to get it there. Hello.
How are you dressed?
Wonderful.
I hear you're wonderful.
Oh, how is he doing, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's Dolphin.
Is that good or bad?
Yes.
Dolphins are now an official part of My Little Pony, so...
They had dolphins in there before.
Yeah, but now they have like a celebrity dolphin.
They did kind of before with that one dancer. One dancer had something with dolphins, didn't she?
Oh, the Sapphire one? Derby.
Derps for Mike. Except for I'm in the way.
No, I can see the derps.
Oh, okay. It's important.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make Derpy. We'll make Derpy bigger.
Mm-hmm.
There. It's not much bigger. Well, it's also Rainbow Dash too, so.
Well, nobody cares about her though.
Yeah, you do. They're just Derpy's just a reskin.
Other way around. We've been over this.
Who came first?
I'm not sure. They were both in the original.
Yeah, but who came first?
In the episode?
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose the pretend I don't remember. I think
it doesn't work if you say you're pretending.
They were both in episode 1.
Yeah, but that doesn't change how who was first. And even if a Derpy was first, it doesn't matter, because the art assets for Rainbow Dash were created first.
I do not know.
It's not like they were sitting on the drawing board. Okay, we have these big detailed story, but first, which one's going to be the dumb one?
She's not the dumb one. First off. She's quite smart. She's a smart pony.
She's a smart pony?
Yes.
They're just bad luck?
She's a little clumsy, sure, but she's smart. She was one of the few characters that Lauren Faust actually drew by hand when coming up with the concept art. Or something, I don't know.
I thought she was an animation error.
And, well, yeah.
At least the eyes were an animation error.
Yeah. I went back and looked at that episode, and I'm kind of surprised that people focused more on the animation error of her eyes being derped than the fact that there's like 3 of her in that same shot. Just in the background, there's 3 derbies.
Well, that's being racist. You saying that you can't have people that are the same color?
I'm saying you shouldn't have clones everywhere.
Yes, big derpy. Is that better?
She's a big derp. Yes.
Size she was meant to be.
I used to love that in the first season, though. There was constantly scenes where they only had so many background ponies. So they just kept putting the same one in over and over and over again in the same background.
Well, it's even if you had a budget, why not? It's just a background. You can save money. You can save a lot of money. Even if you have a big budget, saving money is saving money.
Creates too many questions.
And the only reason they really started making characters later was they weren't scripted in. It was the animators that were just throwing them in because they thought it would be fun. So they're probably putting some of their own time into that. This is probably a little too bent.
Wonder what you were doing with your hand.
Trying to figure out the best way to go about this. I think I'm gonna have to get like the whole pose done before I get too much into it. Sometimes you just have to get you just have to poke at everything to to finally figure out what it is that you're looking for. And I think that's going to be the case with this. So like, oh, it might be that the lighting is off, but I want to have the wrist kind of bent backwards, and which it is, but it's not visibly bent backwards from this angle.
So how's your new video doing? Your new video, how's it doing?
In what regard?
Views.
Had a lot at first, then it dies down. That's how it always works. It's more popular by initial release by about 40 to 50% compared to most things I've put out lately, but it's having the decline as normal. And then give it about 3 to 4 days, and then for some reason the algorithm will pick it back up, then it'll have a spike again. I've been finding that my biggest boost on the videos is about 2 weeks after release lately. So it's weird. It's usually like somebody finds it or something, and it hits this growth at first, then it dips down, then it comes back up again, and then it'll slowly taper off, and then the algorithm will change a year from now, and it'll throw it up into the top numbers again. And YouTube algorithms are confusing. But I was also playing this time around with cards. So on YouTube, the cards are when you have up in the little corner the little exclamation point that has recommended videos, that's a card. Used to have it where you could put little clickable parts on the screen. It was very flexible, but it was also very desktop focused. So they added the card system because it was more usable between both desktop and mobile, and with YouTube being a very mobile platform now. So they added the card system, and so you can recommend videos, and it will pop up with messages at certain times in the video to recommend certain things. So I've been playing around with that lately of, if I put a card in the corner, can I drive people on a new content to my old content? And so I did that this time, and I found I was getting a lot more comments on the ones that were in that card during the initial release of this one than I was getting before. So, which means that there was people clicking through. So, but it was about keeping it themed. Rathlo stuff, I card the other Rathlo stuff, and these ones I carded all the other previous TF2 audio releases, so it's about keeping it themed. But it was amazing actually how well that worked. So now I want to go back through some of my old stuff and start adding cards to them to help create a trail of stuff to watch.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of YouTubers do that. Seems pretty common, actually.
One of the ones I've ever seen recently is somebody was actually during the video was saying, they're like, and if you want to see more, just click over here and they actually make mention of it. But if you go far enough back, it was before cards to where they still are maintaining the old clickable format. It's legacy, but you can't do it now. I missed when it was gone because you could like customize your end screen very, very well. And you could create like customizable click buttons. But now you can't do that. Now the cards are pulled from the side and they're very large. But they let you instead of you putting the video elements in your video, it puts the video elements on top of your video. So it's nice for that regard, I guess. Plus, it's just not intrusive. Before, you had like you could cover the screen in crap, and now it's the card thing keeps it out of the way. Plus, the thing, it helps drive if you have auto play on what the next video is that you watch. So. I need to have her like chest popped out.
I know, I watched a new video probably like 5 times. I like the crown you added there at the end. I wasn't expecting the crown.
Well, because I wanted to have it imply more than just wings.
She became princess.
Yeah, so I wanted to give a little bit more oomph, I guess. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Oh, maybe. Oh, no, it's still going to be... Can I lock her hips? Nope, that's just the pelvis, so... I guess it's just a different rotation, but... Hips are about having the hips be on their own bone instead of having, like with this pelvis where it's moving the legs. Hips. Oh, the hips do still move them. They just do it a little differently.
She's dancing.
Yes, she's dancing.
Oh my. Them hips, though.
Look at this. She calls it the spider. Around the world.
Just got like that foxtail.
Look at that. Oh boy. But the bone right at the mid chest, I can't really bend it because I want to have the stomach pulled in more. But if I do it, it collapses the chest, so it's a little bit difficult to get the actual look I want in. Because I want to have it kind of bent in like that, but not with like looking like her body's breaking into.
I tried to turn it down.
Are you watching the stream on your phone?
Maybe.
I heard just what happened now on there.
No. It's broke.
What broke?
Yay. See, you saw it coming because you're in silly phone. I just wanted a derp. I just ate a pepper or something. That was spice.
I feel like I'm not gonna be able to get her shoulders back far enough to make this work. At least not without like collapsing the textures on her. Oh yeah, she's working up the muscles or the tension. She's got to just relax, just relax, just roll them shoulders.
Is she creepy?
Oh yeah, she's just working out. Yeah, see this is what relaxation looks like. She is so relaxed. This is called the rowboat technique. Yep, there we go.
There, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That's what relaxation looks like. That little rotation. Like, look upon me, world.
I think I need to have her head back further. Because, like, even this, if you feel the back of your neck, well, probably because I brought the shoulders back, but it's flat. And so I need to try to get that to match, but I can't. What's the next? And that one's not going to do anything either.
Just imagining everybody in
that's what it's doing.
Watching checks their back to verify that it's flat.
But yeah, so it's just because I pulled this back, I guess. But
then there's the hunchback of Notre Dame who just reaches back. He's just like, oh, just say it.
I'm scared.
Say it now.
Are you saying I'm not normal?
He's the hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, but he was the hero. Do you think he could have been the hero if he wasn't?
I mean, I know how the original book ends.
Well, yeah, it's like most Disney stories.
Yeah, the Disney version made it all nice. In the original, they commit suicide together. So I don't know if that's heroic, but
no, it doesn't matter if he still was the hero. If he still succeeded in the end,
killed himself.
Yeah, doesn't mean that what they did before that wasn't heroic.
I mean, he did manage to kill that one wicked dude.
Because it's like saying that somebody could spend 40 years of their life doing saving people, but if they killed themselves at the end, they're a villain.
Anybody.
I don't know. I didn't really care for the movies, so I didn't really watch it. I just know it's about some guy that lives in a tower and just goes and like does things and starts things on fire.
He kills that wicked father basically in the original story, and then realizing that he's pretty much screwed, commits suicide. I mean, it's far more dramatic than that, but it's pretty much the gist of it. Your Disney stories just thrown into the shreds.
It's all Disney stories. They're all lies or stolen from Japan. Lion King. So it's almost 100% identical to an anime.
Right.
Everything, different shots. The fact that the main villain was a lion with a scar on its face. He talked with his father, which was in the clouds. He was overlooking his kingdom from a perch. It was Lion King, but the creators of it basically said that it wasn't the same thing, and that they liked his creative vision. But it was probably just them saying, "Yeah, we don't want to fight Disney."
Disney's big and powerful. They got lawyers for days.
Timon and Pumbaa were an antelope and something else, but they were almost the identical characters.
Yeah,
had a bird in there that talked and was provided comedy or some with that. So, but yeah, it was pretty much the same thing.
I imagine Disney steals a lot of ideas. I think the most famous thing I always remember is the movie Jungle to Jungle with Tim Allen. It was basically a complete ripoff from Paramount's picture, Little Indian Big City. And it was like, but they got theirs out first, even though it was Paramount's film.
I watched a thing recently about like movies who took their ideas from other movies and were not really that sneaky about it. And some of the movies in there I was surprised about, like was it Kurosawa or something films, like some of these old movies, how many stole from him.
Yeah.
And to the point where he sued on a whole bunch of different movies of like people just ripping it. I think even Quentin Tarantino for one of his movies basically blatantly said it in an interview. It's like, yeah, it's very, very inspired from the movie, and they're like, it's almost identical.
Like, if you ever watch Jungle to Jungle and Little India Big City side by side, they are the exact same movie. It's not like they're similar. Scene for scene, they're the same movie. Just different actors. It's almost bizarre. If you've watched one of the films, you've seen the other one, essentially. One was made by Paramount and one by Disney.
Oh, this did not include moving. Well, it didn't actually matter, but I'm going to do it now. No, it's hard to be original anymore, because...
Especially when you're stealing each other's scripts.
Well, like how many different iterations of Spider-Man have there been?
A lot.
In live-action movie, there's been 3, and so far, all 3 have had at least one sequel. One of them had 2 sequels. Mm-hmm. And even the second one was successful. The first one was profitable. I think it started going downhill towards the end, but the second one was actually doing really, really well until some of the crap that went on between Disney and Sony still going on. But at least, thankfully, we're getting Tom Holland. But it's just been like, that's one of those things of it's easier just to rehash the idea, and if it fails, just reboot it. Just how long until you... Well, they're doing Dark Knight again, too, aren't they? Batman?
Another Batman?
Yeah, they're doing a Batman
so
next year. They're doing another one. Okay. Dark Knight was good, but that wasn't because Batman. That was because Joker. It was the best Joker, so...
Batman's just a very shallow character. Batman's always someone with
Batman is supposed to be Iron Man, the equivalent.
Well, Iron Man at least has, like severe flaws. He's
but Iron Man is cool.
Yeah.
Iron Man is super cool. I was watching a whole thing about casting for that too, and they were like looking at the actors off camera, and they're like, they basically cast people that are their character.
Yeah.
That was the one problem they had with Thor, because the actor wasn't playing the character that Thor was originally, because he was supposed to be more serious and whatever, and it was only in Ragnarok that they basically let him be him. And he loved it, and that's why that movie went from that Thor 2 went from being one of the worst rated MCU films to being the highest rated. But also, like, Robert Downey Jr., his real life character is Iron Man. Like, he acts just like him. So
yeah, I would say that's the big difference between like Iron Man and Bruce Wayne, or Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne, is that Bruce Wayne's kind of he's essentially infallible in that he is without flaw. Yeah, he's sad about his parents, but he's an immovable good. Whereas Tony Stark is not. He is filled with flaws. He loses his cool sometimes. He's an alcoholic with an ego. Like
the one classic phrase that Iron Man states, or that Stark states, I think it was that based on the question from Captain America, of without the suit, what are you? And he's like an egotistical or a multi-billionaire egotistical playboy philanthropist or something. Yeah, he's like, that's exactly genius. That character. Yeah. He's like, I am fine without the suit.
Yeah, the suit is an extension of me that I created.
Actually, my favorite version of Iron Man is actually the one from Spider-Man. The version of him in that. It's like the same reason that between Doctor Who and Torchwood. Doctor Who, when you follow a god, everybody else feels small. But when you have somebody that is normal and then the god is on the side, you can see how big they actually are. And in Spider-Man, that's kind of the way that was you never really felt that Iron Man was any different than anybody else until in there he actually felt big, and different, and I think that was where it defined his character more than many other occurrences.
Going back to like the pony fandom, because my brain's always there. It's like I kind of felt that way reading Murky No. 7 recently, realizing how big of a character Little Pip was.
Yeah, but you never see that in the other book. Yeah, it's and it's not only that, but before you never even saw that they were big. You thought they were just normal, and it's only from the outside perspective that you can see that.
Yeah.
But it's also the same thing. If you think about it with people, if you see somebody that is or it's not an individual person is always going to see things from their perspective. So it's the same thing like Doctor Who, whatever. When you have people that are rich, all they can see is their own worldview, and it's really hard for them to see things from another person's perspective because they are seeing and basing everything from their line of viewing. So same thing with Pips. Pip thought she was small, but it was because that's the way that she saw herself. And so if you see yourself as one thing, you always compare everybody else to your line.
It's just the way she was presented in the book. She just seemed like she was a small.
He's looking up there because I have Pip.
He does have a Pip.
Well, I have mainly Blackjack, but
You got 2 Blackjacks and a Pips. Well, no, you got 2 Pips. 2 Blackjacks and 2 Pips.
got those two. I have a story for those. Actually, those are all 3 of the same artist. I got them all for free. I paid for them with bottle caps.
But you think, I think part in Murky 7 that Murky sees as Little Pip is her essentially defying the entire city of Philadelphia and escaping, pretty much on her own by just using her magic to levitate herself out of the city and create mass destruction. When I was reading that part of the book, it was just like, oh yeah, that's cool, she did that. But when you get from the perspective of somebody on the ground who's seeing that happen, defying a city that hundreds upon hundreds of armed guards, heavy military equipment, walls for miles, an entire city that imprisons thousands, the fact that she could just leave, that's no small feat.
Mm-hmm.
It would take an army of normal ponies to do what she did pretty much single-handedly. She is amazing, but you don't really see that from her perspective.
Because she's humble from her perspective.
But the Murky's character watching her do that...
She could bend the middle. I can't bend it, and that's killing me.
Yeah, I should be able to bend it. You're missing some bones.
I'm trying to see if I can't bend it, what can I do to make it look like it's bent? It's about if you can't do it one way, how do you invert it and come from it the other way? And I don't know. That's why I was like, well, maybe I can bend the wrist down. But the problem is it's rigged, so I can't bend the wrist down because that's just going to move the whole thing. I thought maybe I could move these down to try to simulate it, but they're weighted so heavily to that one little bit that's not really possible. I'm thinking I might just have to...
Hey, Blur.
Oh, Blurred. Well, that's kind of the idea. I think I might have to... I think... Because right now it feels relaxed, but I want to have it feel like it's bending a bit. How is your Satisfactory going? I see you've been on there about as much as I was when I started. I've been working on my Mega Factory lately. I kind of slowed down on it just so that I could pace it a bit more. But I'm right now going to try to expand my oil so that I'm not relying on nuclear so much. I think I spent like a week just building the iron, like so that where screws, rods, and plates would come out. And as of right now, I'm making 7,200 ingots a minute of the 3 types.
Do you feel?
Yeah, it's a big foundry, but I like versatility. So I built the whole thing using foundries to where I can at any point go up to any foundry, swap it from iron to copper, and the whole thing will still work. Once it goes in the walls and goes in a rotation, and then it splits off depending on which ones come through using smart splitters, and puts the ingots down the correct channels, and then merges certain ones back up to try to maintain the lines at a higher count, so I'm not just splitting and dropping the count by half. So it's later on, if I start figuring out that my numbers are off, I can literally just go up to a couple machines, swap them over. I figured out I wasn't making enough steel, so I just went down below and I swapped one of the lines to coal by reconnecting it to a different line, and the whole thing changed on that line to steel. So I love doing stuff like that. Hello, Moon. I really want to be able to bend that backwards. I think I'm just going to have to do this.
That works.
I think that's the best I'm going to do. I'm going to use the front right here to make it imply that it's kind of flat, and then if I bend this one down farther, it kind of implies that it's bending backwards a little bit the way that I want to.
You can call me dude.
Who's that old dude next to you?
Wait, old dude?
The one that's wearing glasses and is squinting? Do you need to look? Do you like to look up so you get to your cheater?
I'm younger than he is. I just want this made perfectly clear.
Only by a little bit.
It's enough. I'm gonna be the old dude.
I'm trying to work out some good.
Yay, Derby.
Well, thank you, Moon. I appreciate it.
Oh, Mike, no. No, I was thinking more Derby.
Oh. He says you look very young.
I don't believe you.
Well, how about this? Because I'm curious. Hello, Chris. How old do you think he is?
This is a dangerous question. Yeah. How old do you think he is?
Oh, thank you, Moon. I appreciate it. Doesn't look a day over 80. Good. I was gonna say a couple days over 80, but
where's he?
Got to be like 50 at least. That's probably. I'm guessing though.
I was thinking you were gonna go the other way.
If that's a legitimate answer, I'm thinking they're probably like, to me, like late teens, because I remember when I was that young, I would look at me from that perspective and be like, yeah, you're like 50. But now when I look at people in the 50s, I'm like, I'm not that far from you.
I'm upset if that's a legit answer.
I love that answer.
I hate that answer. I'm a young, spry adult. That's all you need to know.
How much grunting do you do to get out of bed?
It takes me about 5 minutes to get out of bed. That's probably because I haven't slept more than 5 hours.
I put my second alarm that goes off just at the time I'm supposed to get up, out of reach. So now I have to get up to turn it off, and that actually just helped a lot.
My alarm has been voice activated, so.
Oh, but yeah, that's. And what is it voice activated?
It's just me saying stop, and then it just turns off.
Oh, thank you, Chris. It has been a good day so far.
At least I know why the Match.com is.
Because they think you're lying on your age.
Probably. They're like, look at that old man. We do need another derby. I agree. More derby.
Yes. See, this is what I should have done a long time ago. I should have had big derpy.
Yes.
That's what it does. That's all that we need.
You get more derps. She is best pony. And that's just a fact.
Really, I think this would just be kind of out in a way. And maybe curved a little bit at the end. It's just the thumb does not act like a normal thumb.
Being that it's all pointy.
Yeah, there's that too. She needs to cut her nails.
She does. Yay, more derpy.
That's how you make money, Argo. Remember that for the future. Just giant derpy. It also has, there's, if it's a new follower, it's Rainbow Dash saluting, and if it's a subscription, it's Rainbow Dash spinning on his chair. So I did. Derp is the only there for that. I just felt that it worked well with the bashing on a keyboard.
Also derpy.
Hello, OJ. I've been doing looking for 30 minutes. I thought he was Argo's dad. Yes.
I'm getting another drink.
That's what my dad would say.
No.
That's good.
Alright.
I'm kind of going for like the, at least on the video here, right? Video of the "Are you not entertained?" look. If you don't know what that thing from Gladiator, where he just got his arms out, like an invitation to assault in a way. He's gonna go with the flow. It's Argo's dad, not daddy.
No, don't make it weird. It's already weird.
Derpy agrees. Mike is Argo's dad.
Well, that's Daddy Argo.
You guys are all just throwing bits to just get it on the
This is more derpy. Hey man, at least I'm getting more derpy, so I can appreciate that.
Since there is other people here, reminder that there is, if anybody has any questions on SFM or wants to see something specific from stuff I've done in the past on how I did it, or just wants to see things on it, just let me know. The point of the stream is to help people, and so I just work on stuff when there's no questions. So if you do have a question, feel free to ask. I have a derby for apologies. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. He's okay.
You really want me to be your dad?
He's got antidepressants.
No, I don't. Well,
Yeah, you do.
this, yes.
No, he's not beer.
It's cider.
Yeah.
Does it taste
See, it's the
better?
millennials beer.
This beer is
I
nasty.
still feel like this. I think these hands need to be further back. Like, it has to be chest further forward. Of come at me, bro type look. When okay, you come up with the most recent vid, a moment of silence. I was originally going to call it a serene moment, but it just didn't sound right on its own, so I went with that. But the main reason was I haven't put out something forever, so I wanted something I could make really quick. So I have a Discord, and I try to, like, once a week pop up in the general chat, and so I did that last week, I think on like Thursday, and I just started opening up SFM. And normally if I'm trying to make something small, I will start with TF2 horse audio, because there's a lot of it and all of it's golden. So I just found that one, and we went with it. And I started it Thursday, and I finished it on the weekend. Yeah, I did it Thursday, then I worked on it a couple hours Friday, and then I finished it on Sunday. So it was really, really quick. But it was just made to be something short and sweet. And then just going from the audio, it was what do you do with the audio? I'm like, well, it's funny. It says Lavender Main, so I just grabbed Twilight because that makes the most sense. But how do you make it funnier than just the line? Because the line's funny, but how do you make a joke on top of that? So the idea was misdirection. So give it a title that implies one thing, and give a scene that implies something, and then give it something else, then go a complete other direction with it. And then the end bit with the wings was just added last minute because I thought it would be funny. The problem was I wanted to put a thumbnail that was also misdirection, but that would have been a negative because it wouldn't have been clickbaity. So I had to make a face that was more clickbaity. So there was lost a little bit of the misdirection from that, but it's fine. But yeah, I started that on a Discord live stream last Thursday. Yeah. Oh no! I knew about Rick May's passing, but I was literally just because I have done 2 bits of audio from the horse using Spy, and 1 using Sniper, and so I didn't want to do the same characters again. So I just looked into Soldier, and Soldier has like 2 others that are also really good, but they're long. So I did went with that one, the shorter. I also have one I've started, but I like years ago with Heavy, but I never finished it because it required more work than I really wanted to go into. Or I could redo it to be a lot less work, but meh.
It's not me.
One of my friends just messaged me. My horn grants wishes too, and my hair can smell like lavender if I put the right shampoo in.
You have weird friends.
Yeah, apparently. I've done two for Spy. One was Rarity. There was another Prettiest Unicorn because they all have lines for Prettiest Unicorn. But one was Rarity. And then the joke with that was that she was saying she was prettier and was going to basically murder Starlight Glimmer. And then the other one I did was the day that the horse audio came out, like that DLC was a thing, or an event was a thing on TF2. The day it came out, I made one using a Spy one about what was it? Unicorn Friendship Magic was what it was called. Yeah, Starlight. It was Heavy. I forgot. Yeah, I did use Heavy's voice for that. Should put her elbow low. I think maybe. Me too.
I caught them occasionally.
That's actually one of the difficulties with making videos, though, is especially when like comedy is one thing, but it's like how do you tell a joke where you know the punchline and you're trying to figure out how to tell it without them knowing the punchline and to lead them in the right direction. So being able to, like the misdirection one, like I know it's going to be funny, but how do I lead up to it where I could provide the information to give an idea that that's not where I'm going with things? But it's also very difficult for emotional things. Like, for instance, remembrance. How do you maintain an emotional connection to a video that you work on for 9, 10, 11 months? It's eventually you get to a point where you get an emotional disconnect, and then you're not even sure if it's going to have the emotional impact you're looking for anymore. I was genuinely surprised when we showed it at the 2015 BronyCon, the reaction that came from it, because I didn't have that attachment to it anymore. But then I had a lot of people afterwards coming up to me that were bringing up things from their real life with people that passed away, and the connection that others had to it, and so that got me to see that part of it that I was missing, and I thought that was really cool. So I didn't think it was going to be as popular as it turned out to be. It's a little better. I still feel like I could use more arc in the back, but. Do I still have her? Yes, it is.
But those wings are heavy. But those wings are heavy. They look heavy.
Yeah, but you need probably wings. Well, the air gaps here are probably going to work, but you probably need wings much, much larger than that to fly. There was somebody did the math for Mothra to see how big would your wings have to actually be to fly, and they figured the wings would have to be like multiple miles across for something that.
About that.
No, there is a there's an equation for defining the weight of weight of an item to how big of a wingspan you need.
Wait, Mothra.
Yeah.
The big monster.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
No, not little moths. But to how big would you have to make it? And at that point, it was like the wings flapping alone would be like breaking the atmosphere, and like it was, and they would have to break the sound barrier for each flap. But you would, for the bigger the wings, the slower they have to flap. It was this weird whole science thing with it. But the big thing that was always against those was, how does the brain talk to its limbs?
You can have multiple brains.
But then how do the brains communicate?
They don't.
Because it's all by electrical signals. So they would say that if like Godzilla would have like a 2-second delay for any movements to his leg or something like that. And it was like ridiculous.
Unless he had brains in his legs.
That's why bees shouldn't be able to fly. Well, but they fly differently. Because like we're talking like flat, like bees also have multiple wings, and Mother Nature is really good at figuring out ways to make things work.
It can fudge it.
Basically, yeah.
Mother Nature's good about fudging it. Pretty much, even all human evolution is a result of good enough. Like, we essentially have hands that have been fused together to make feet. It's not the best design.
Well, it's because it used to be
works.
more like hands. It's just that we've been slowly losing the functionality. It's been obsoleting itself, though we do need toes.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I think we're one of the only species that can actually just tear a ligament in our legs and just completely paralyze us forever. Like the ACL or whatever it's called. Other animals don't do that. It's because we evolved very rapidly in a very short period of time, and Mother Nature just said good enough, and we're kind of a mess.
We're beautiful.
A beautiful mess.
Okay, come
Hello, new person.
Hello, Osmar. What the F? I agree. But it is...
He's animating demon girls.
Yes.
That's what he's into now.
There is context to this. She gets murdered.
What he's also into.
Oh, no problem.
Tips.
No, she gets, that's kind of the end of this. We're working, this is the hard scene, because there's a lot I have to do on it. But yeah, she gets crushed. And dead. There's a lot more to this. There's a whole minute and a half before this point in another file. Time for another derpy. Also, what's the context of this vid, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, well, there. I was kind of actually going over that a little.
Hey, looking.
So, this is going off the vein of the Sci-Twi ones that I was always doing. That one. It was... I wanted to do one last one because I'm basically out of audio for her. I've used like probably 75% of her lines, and all the ones that are left after this. I feel as a true Dreppy. What if Dreppy is the true villain and took out Sunset? No.
I like this idea. Add Derpy to the video.
No. So this. The idea is, in Borderlands pre-sequel, you're helping this scientist make a rocket, and she has no idea what she's doing, and so she's just doing weird things that she thinks sound sciencey enough and makes rockets. At the end of it, she ends up blowing up her house with a rocket. That's where the first one that I made came with. So yeah, if you've played it, then you know who Dr. Spara, then yeah, there's all those voice lines. So in this, it was rocket and brains was her big thing, so I just kind of combined them both. So this part is basically done. I don't think this render has everything done. But I don't want to play it full screen because I don't want people just ripping it later. So,
That is a good idea. I didn't realize he already had it rendered.
no, this isn't the final render. I rendered this out for a test because some things don't always look right when you render. So I didn't want to rely on the render being fine down the road when I needed to actually have it done. So this was me just doing test render stuff. This is all work in progress still. So in that I still want to play with the audio, and if I play with the audio, I might play with the timing. And this video is supposed to be 30 seconds long and has exploded in scope to where it is now 2 minutes. And the idea for how it ends keeps evolving, and so it's just scattered, but that kind of just fits side to eye.
I got an idea for
This
rocket
isn't.
Oh yeah, this isn't fully animated yet. I think this is the best work in progress I have, though.
science. Woo!
Yeah.
Hey,
I
you wanna
mean,
be a
it's
rocket
better because you
scientist?
don't want people ripping.
That is how I'm going to keep the animation for that, though.
Yeah, that is perfect.
So this is another type of misdirection comedy where you have this big lead up to then a very small payoff.
Yeah. Now grab the brake.
Hold on. Just because this is my favorite part. Okay, there we go. I feel better.
I want the hammer to come down on him.
Brain.
Yay!
Now put the
I missed
brain
that
on
part.
this rocket.
Best part. Just a little bit.
Now fire the rocket. Hypothesis. This will be frickin' sick. Set it.
This audio just picked up on the music too. So that's the pre-part, and then that immediately leads into this part. I'm gonna pause that. This shot is going to be Canterlot High School. It's an establishing shot. I just haven't. The map for Canterlot High is very memory intensive, so I don't have it loaded unless I need it. Oh, it's not. It's from It's Doomsday from Eternal Eclipse. No, wait. No, that was actually the one at the top here. We Rise by Cybrid, I think. Hold on. No, if it was from Batman, it's not saying such. F in the chat for Big Mac. Yeah, he's just...
Big Mac is a pony.
He's just falling.
He's saying.
He's just literally, like I didn't even, detail animate him fall or anything. He literally just slides down.
It's better that way.
This shot, though, I want to play with because I'm not sure if I want to maintain... right now, it focuses always on Applejack. Didn't know if I want to play with the focus distance or if I wanted to do some stuff.
She's the best part of the video.
So I feel like maintaining on her is the best idea because once the rocket passes, then it would be focusing on nothing. So, I think I'm going to keep it like that. And this is me sneaking my OC in right there. But this would be establishing. Oh, let me get the lights on. So this actually looks better. This is like with the lights on, it would look. Oh, and that background should be brighter, but I don't want to fix that quite yet. Actually, okay, yeah, I will fix that right now. It doesn't matter right now because I am done with the other video. I don't need to have it on there, and it's actually still open. There we go. So that's there now. The background's actually bright. Okay.
I've had to jump through so many hoops tonight just to get my hands on this crown, and it really should have been mine all along. What exactly do you think you're going to do to stop me? I have magic, and you have...
Man, it's nice.
Blam!
So stupid. That's probably not the final.
I like how you say probably. It could be. I like the idea.
I kind of like it too because it requires the least amount of work.
I don't know how you would improve it.
The way I identify shots is green is done, yellow is mostly done, just have to do cleanup and final. But blue is basically nothing, or there's parts in there that are untouched. It goes to red once I've kind of figured out keyframing and positioning and general layout. Then it goes to yellow once I've done the actual initial animation on it. Please make it the final. I mean, I could clean it up so that it's not just, her head with a jitter.
I just want her just making a noise while she's doing it.
I just like even just this pose right here, like she's just like her.
No, she's leaving.
But yeah, that's ending up to being the video. We actually were all the way to the part where she launched the rocket and almost done with that part and had no idea how to end it at that point. It was just that we kept adding more stupid things, and I thought about ending it at the rocket launching, but it didn't really. It felt like you made a joke and then you dragged it on and then ended it, and that didn't really feel like a great way to end it. So instead, we decided to figure out a way to make it funny. So the idea was, let's blow up Celestia, but then it had to try to figure out how to put in Canterlot and all this other stuff, and then what would be funny about that? Well, I couldn't figure out a good way to do it, so we decided to go with EQD land, or not EQD, EQG land, and. But then who do we blow up? Well, this is the most iconic character that you can think of for a villain to blow up that most people would know. But then how do you get the rocket there? And I just gave up trying to find ways to do it. So I just literally have it just go. It literally just makes a pop noise and disappears.
There was a much better idea with a makeout scene involving Starlight and Trixie, but he wouldn't do it.
But then it just pops back into existence here. You can hear it and see it between audio bits.
Tonight, just to get my hands on this crown, and it really should have been mine all along.
So, and then it changes Spike to dog because you're in their world. I was also trying to maintain certain visual aspects, so I maintained cartoony for all these, so that all then feel that all the clouds are fake and cartoon. But then as soon as you go into this world, everything is much more realistic and stuff, so that it helps with that separation. No more scope creep, especially with how close I am. Really, all I have to do is, what if you flew past the Luna and the moon, looped around the moon, and then came back down like it does now? I thought about, if I tried to add epic music, I would probably add more rocket travel shots. That's the problem with music, is if I don't have it, it feels like I need to make everything compact, but as soon as you add music, it feels like you need to space everything out. So I don't know what to do with that yet. But I need to be careful with music because of copyright stuff. I was before just putting any audio on, and it was making it so a lot of the money I was putting in for software and stuff I was eating out of my own money because nothing was coming in. So I'm trying to be more cognizant of that now, so that YouTube is paying for the hobby instead of me paying for it. So I want, if I do put audio in here, I want to try to make sure it's something that's CC or something. But really all I have to do is just do a couple of verification on that shot. These two, I need to, they're just showing Canterlot, or the Canterlot High School. So I just have to do a couple things for that. I want to maybe potentially play with some of the backgrounds because it seems very simple, like put up buildings or something there. And then this is just going to be literally like stock government footage of the bomb going off. I'm probably going to use one of the silent ones because I think that'd be funnier if it leads up to this big explosion and then it's just like quiet. But yeah, the idea for the popping in and out of existence to me is it's funny and quick because it's something that can just happen and be done with. And the fact that it's Twilight launching a rocket but then just using teleportation on it, like why the hell would you need a rocket? Just send them the bomb. There's implications that make it funnier. I don't know what pop noise it is, actually. It's not from Minecraft. It's very similar, though. It's, let's see here. From Meet the Medic, apparently. I don't know what it is from in there, but I just looked up pop, and that came up, so I used it. And any sound that's within the, that came within SFM is all Creative Commons, so it's easy, and with no worries. You could say there's some issues with using the movie audio like this, but I have it broken up with other pieces, so if there's any automatic triggers, chances are low that they'll catch it, because there's only this bit. And you can hear other audio in the background there. Yeah. So that's the premise of it. But like I've been having problems with her animation because she already when she talks about herself points at herself, so I didn't want to do that again at the beginning here, which is what I was doing. So instead I'm going to be doing it the invitation for attack type thing where she puts her arms up.
Magic.
Like her kind of arm here is not right. I'm not always like with horses. It's nice because how do you determine where they put their arms? On the ground. Like that's easy. So it's just trying to figure out like how I position arms and stuff when people are doing things. Like this one's easy. That's the hand that is in the view range is the attention grabbing one. But what do I do with the other arm?
I mean, occasionally you could, when doing the pony models, place their hoof on their noses. I think that would also be a good place to put them. No, not her nose. She's weird looking. And her arm's broken. She ain't got much of a nose. She's like Krillin from Dragon Ball Z.
I'm doing it for you.
No, it's not. It's not. It's lacking horse.
Look at that. Look at that booping.
That disturbs.
She's like, is this a nose?
It is not.
She's just like...
It's a bump on your face.
She's like, num num.
Good. She ate the hands. You posted another derps.
for not dad.
Who's not dead? Oh. I'm so nice last time. Somebody said I looked like the dude from what's his name, Adam Savage or something.
From Adam Savage.
Adam Savage.
It's that one guy from their television tube shows.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, you probably have. Is it, your TV have vacuum tubes?
I wish. I have a stereo system that has vacuum tubes. It's in my closet.
Well, there you go.
It's better sound.
Oh wait, actually no. Then that makes it so you're not dad, you're grandpa.
No. Tubes sound great. They're warm. These fandangled transistors just don't carry the same warmness and the sound as the old tube systems. It's true. I do own a record player as well. But I think that just makes me hipster.
My parents have a really cool one. It's from like 1920s AM only record player in perfect condition. All right, later, Jurassic. Thank you.
That assaulted derby. That is impressive. Mine's much newer. I say much newer, but I got it from Radio Shack. If that's any indication of how new it actually is. I don't even know if they still exist.
Radio Shack is soon gonna be like rotary telephones and stuff, where somebody's like, "Wow, you must be old," or like Red Hot Chili Pepper shirts.
Oh no! That whole scene in that I can't remember the name of the cartoon, but they killed like an old dude.
You said the same thing yesterday. You already forgot it. See, this is your Alzheimer's kicking in already.
I can't remember the name of the show, but there was actually another part where they're asking.
What was the name of the other show that it came from? Because you asked that question yesterday, and I mentioned it, and you already forgot it. See, this is why you're
regular show. I remember.
This is why you're stream dad.
Oh.
Jay is brony dad, and you're stream dad.
No.
I want my allowance.
One of my favorite parts, that thing when they're like, he's like, "Can we see your ID?" And he's like, "Whoa, really? I guess the Rogaine's really working," was something he said. I'm like, I use Rogaine. I like Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm sad. This was clearly a shot at me. Red Hot Chili Peppers is awesome. Yeah, they're a band from like the 80s, but 90s. 90s was cool.
Okay, it says, Moon says, "What dad would that make me? You get to choose. If you're stream dad and Jay is brony dad.
What dad
What dad am I?" See, the problem is Michael's not creative, so this is probably going to take a while.
Magic?
Wow.
Am I wrong?
I call you jerk dad.
See, you're not creative. I gave you context, and then you went with it.
Well, I'm just stream dad because I'm on a stream. Nobody's creative. Everybody fails.
You're defined by what people think about you,
Can't have magic?
and they think that you're in your 50s.
No, apparently.
He doesn't have the bags under his eyes yet. I think that's the only thing. Otherwise, yes,
They're
he fits the
getting
profile.
They're getting there.
Just keep staying up too late. What was that? Like, whoa!
Me taking off my glasses and realizing everything's blurry because I'm old. Hey, Derp.
Jerk Dad it is. I'm okay with Jerk Dad.
Jerk dad.
That's my porn name.
Gross. I don't want to think about that. Jerk Dad 2027. Yeah.
Too far.
These streams are gonna get weird.
I have magic?
Jerk Dad. I always used to make fun with Jay in streams because people would always ask what his first name was because his YouTube handle was just Jay Haller. So everybody was like, "What's your first name? What's your first name?" So I would tell people who would ask in chat his first name was Jerkin. It was Jerkin Holler. I thought it was clever. You didn't appreciate it.
But it's fun to do that to Jay.
Yes.
No, I am not on a porn site that I know of. When we're asleep, The world shuts down. I don't know what I'd do then.
I do not want to find this Pornhub channel.
Okay, this I think. This one I can be accusatory because I haven't actually had her pointed at anybody yet. So I'm gonna do that.
It wouldn't surprise me a little bit if his videos were on Pornhub, because people load weird like pony videos of Pornhub all the time, like ones that have nothing to do with porn. Don't ask me how. I go to my.
That's like basically when you say like, yeah, there's actually a lot of classy horse porn out there.
No,
because that implies something, Michael.
No, I'm just aware that Pornhub for a while, a lot of people were like migrating to it as an alternate for YouTube, and then people were just loading everything to it.
Michael,
I'm just aware of that, okay? It was a thing for a while.
Yes. Why do you notice?
No. I'm just saying, what Remembrance is like a mod for Fallout 4.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. Somebody put the intro video for Fallout 4. Yeah, which makes no sense. Like the Little Pip one, it makes sense.
Yes.
All those. It's just somebody that really likes two things and wants to find any way possible to put the two together.
Who would put ponies in Fallout 4?
Who would put dolphins in Fallout 4?
Weirdos.
You! He did it.
I made that mod like 2 hours and I was drunk while doing it.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was.
That was a fun stream, but I can't remember all of.
Well, good. You recorded it.
Yes. I think it's on my main YouTube.
I watched it a couple times.
Is it on my main YouTube?
I think it's on your Twitch. I think it's saved.
No, it's not. It's not on Twitch. You can't. I don't have.
Well, then,
I have to be a partner to say that long.
It's somewhere then. I have watched it relatively recently. Not super recently, like within the last few years. Sometimes I like to go back and look at the times I made people happy.
I think it's this one.
It'd be in your live streams, yeah.
I think it's this, yeah, it's this one.
Yeah, okay.
Wow, that was 4 years ago. Almost, just over 4 years ago.
Remember things that feel like they happened yesterday happened like
yeah, if you don't know, I have we've done some gaming streams. I don't do it often because I like kind of just doing my own thing with gaming, but I do have some gaming streams. And but this one was, we had a whole bunch of people over and we got really pretty drunk, and I think at one point Kyle was playing Fallout 4 covered in so many plushies she couldn't see, and we were telling him what to do. And so we would like go left, shoot. There we go.
You can see the dolphin mod.
It's going to... okay, I don't want that part of the link. Okay, it should be that one.
The dolphin mod, because nobody downloaded.
But that one, it ends up starting where he had sent me like a dolphin mod an hour beforehand that replaced the fat man with the dolphin. So we started just launching nuclear dolphins at people. And that was pretty fun. But we also have some Mass Effect, which I've almost been tempted to re-download Mass Effect on Andromeda to play multiplayer again, now that they have cross-play between EA and Steam has their new release.
I still never touched it single player.
I never finished. I put 10 hours into it, never finished it, but the multiplayer was glorious.
The multiplayer is fun. We played a lot of multiplayer.
Or even, I think, well, that was this New Year's. Oh yeah, because it was here. We did a Jackbox live stream for the New Year's. That was 3.5 hours long. That one had some pretty good ones in there too. Yeah, I've been wanting to do more gaming streams, but I just... A lot of the times when I'm playing games, I just kind of like to relax and chill, but streams can be exhausting because it's a lot of paying attention to different things and trying to be entertaining externally instead of just internally.
And you.
So this one I probably want to have. Oh, that's not the hand. The hand actually sideways.
I need to get some of the software I would make mods with that I had on my old computer, on my new computer. That's kind of one. Sometimes I've actually been in the mood to make stuff, but just getting all this stuff back together is what keeps me from doing it. Because it took a lot of programs to make that. I think it took like 7 programs just to make that dolphin mod.
Okay, so if I have the hand like that, my elbow should be out, which is what hers is now. Yeah, that looks pretty legit. Though I probably could take her shoulder and put it out. The one thing I hate with rigs is when you start. I mean, it's nice because you can, like, you know, move things more legit. But when you start playing at the extremes of things, if you ever hit the very end point that motion has for things, it gets awkward, and so you have to be careful not to hit that point.
She's like, I want you. Give me peanut butter crackers.
Wrong person. Because Mike deserves love too. There be love for you.
Yay, love from a fictional character is all I get.
No, it was Moon's love for you.
Moon.
Moon.
Moon, oh. I don't know. Picking up people during your live streams is appropriate.
You know, there's different types of love. You know, you
Yeah,
don't
well,
have.
there's love from your like immediate family, but that hardly counts.
You can't love your friends.
I mean, to what extent?
See, that's where.
No, make it weird.
You have a very warped version of the world you live in.
What are you talking about? I like my friends. I love my mother and my father and I guess my siblings because I have to. But it's like law.
To me, like is where you don't mind their company.
Yeah.
But love is where it's not always having to be sexual, Michael. It's just about having a deep
Are you trying to
connection.
say to have some kind of sexual feeling for my mother? That's weird, dude.
But no, but I'm saying if you have a deep connection with somebody to where, like, if I like somebody but then they piss me off, it might change from like. But if you love somebody, it should be that even if they have flaws and they have problems, you have disagreements, that should in no way defer or change the way that you see them as a whole. But like, to me, is one where, depending on what somebody does, that might change my opinion on them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty much the same boat on that.
Well, that comes the same with friends, though. I mean, if you just met somebody, you're probably not going to say you love them, but I would say that you...
I think, like, my mother, like, somebody I love, could do absolutely anything in the world, and I would still love them. I don't know that I can say the same for everyone.
No, not everyone.
Like,
I'm not saying it for everybody, but there are certain people
yeah.
that you probably would have that more of a bit with that. It's kind of crinkly fingers.
Yeah, I felt
Well,
that
and
way
if you
about somebody before. But...
and if you well, again, you're also then bringing it up as a relationship, which is not the same thing I'm talking about.
I know.
And if you don't see people like that, then that's kind of sad. Or you're just unwilling to state such because you think it feels awkward.
I just think there are different levels of each. That's
Yeah, I know, but
like,
you're.
I have friends that I define as having close friendships with that they could really piss me off, and I would not stop being their friend. But I wouldn't call it love. It's just a difference in definition, I think. That's all it is.
Well, then it's just you're just changing the adjective on like. Instead of using a different word, you're just coloring the old one.
I'm just there's just different. What I like. I don't know. To me, love isn't absolute. Like there's. It's not. It shouldn't be Michael fallible. She points.
No, she
looks like she's picking her nose.
She boop.
No, she's picking her nose. When humans do it, it's just picking your nose. Oh, stop picking your nose. Horses can't pick their noses.
She's gonna do it, Michael.
That looks like she's gonna kill herself.
She's gonna do it, Michael.
Dead. Stabs herself in the face. No. She's blind now. I'm good. She stabbed herself in the pupil, so she just went through under her brain.
She points, she boop. In pointedly. Yes. Well, you gotta. Sometimes you just got. There we go. There it is. See, it's just got a little. She's got a little something. She's just like. You just get her nose again.
Oh, now she stabbed her brain. Grrr.
Like
she's checking to see if she's got corona. You gotta get back there.
It took me a sec. She's testing. She's just like goes all the way up and is like, yes, I have.
She's got the hand up. She's like,
Yeah, just like.
She's like, we will defeat
you. Girlfriend.
She got sassy with all those powers.
Wait, she gotta do like the Z. You don't want you do not want all of this.
Because you're a weird mutant girl now. Sassy sunset.
How far back do I have to undo now?
I just imagine her on like a dating profile, just like, so why did you not ask for a second date? Well, it was just didn't feel like the right time. Was it the fangs? It was the fangs.
I don't know. Some people they're like, but I'm a big fan of the Twilight books.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of like furries out there. I'm sure that'd be into that. Whatever that is. Half fox, half demon girl. Sure, she'll take you back to her place, but then she'll like suck out your blood.
She'd be like, I'm actually a horse in another world, and Brony just drops and is like, check please, we're going home.
Through the portal.
Where is this portal? And just like bags her head and it's like, show me.
Where's the portal? I want to go to Horseland.
And you
You know what? I realized that I actually made the mistake and I am using the wrong arm again. I did not want to use that arm.
There's actually...
Because she already has this arm up, so it's going to be awkward to swap it. So I have to go and do that for the other arm.
I watched a recent episode of Robot Chicken and they had a brony skit called the Brony Rodeo. Where they rode on the backs of bronies. And they rode on this one and he broke his leg while they were riding him. His wife, they checked it out with his wife. They're gonna put him down. They just shoot him dead. Oh, poor bronies.
Makes sense, though.
Yeah. His wife was like, yeah, just kill him. It's for the best. I should about right grab her butt. I'm just saying what it looks like.
Please, when your thoughts come in, please just keep them in there.
Tell me I was wrong.
No, I turned the hand to move it, and you immediately said, grab her butt.
Well, if you're looking for different motions for her to do, slapping herself on the ass would be a variation of everything you've done.
Remember when I said I'm trying to keep these things monetized? YouTube now asks you 7 questions anytime you release a video that asks you varying levels of what type of things in there might not be monetizable.
I just hope that one of the boxes says
yes, there, right there. That is the comment.
No! This has nothing to do with it.
Wait.
No! Just no on all accounts.
You basically just did the whole thing with like that again, where you said that part of my life is not part of this.
No! I'm just gonna I have no beard again or something. I have done no such thing.
No, you did. You did admit it.
You know what? This is a hole that there's no digging out of, so...
There's actually just a thing I was reading that they were talking about, I still have it up here. Yeah, cowboy phrases that make for great life advice. And one of them, what was the one here? Oh yeah, never miss a good chance to shut up. That's one. If you find yourself in a hole, the first thing to do is stop digging. I like though, don't let your yearnings get ahead of your earnings. Never ask how stupid someone is because they'll turn around and show you. Never drive black cattle in the dark. I love this one. Never approach a bull from the front, a horse from the rear, or a fool from any direction.
The cowboy is a mean person. She's doing... That's what she needs to do. It's just like in the middle of like the monologuing, she should just go like, yeah.
Like we're gonna do a Fonzie?
Finger, yes. Give him a good Henry Winkler.
No, that sounds like something from a porno.
that Henry Winkler.
It does.
Poor Henry Winkler. Poor old dude. He's still great, though.
We started with the motorboat and then went to the Henry Winkler.
That, no. Bad. He's referring to you. He's what?
They're referring to you.
I know.
Remember, this is all recorded.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been nothing but completely normal as I can be.
This looks like something from a meme. I'm trying to remember.
It's that cat thing where the woman's like angry at the cat, and then the
Oh,
cat
it is! gas!
That's exactly what this is right now.
Wait.
You just need the picture of the cat.
Kind of. But yeah, that is the meme I'm thinking of.
Yes. I could see it.
I usually don't like the stream is spoilery always, where anything I'm working on is on here, other than stuff I can't show because of other obligations. But I don't like sharing too much content that is spoilery to things that I'm going to be doing on social media and other places, because I hate spoilers myself, and I don't want to force spoilers on other people then. So I don't want to make it feel like somebody has implication of things that happen. Like, for instance, with the Moment of Peace one, the whole idea behind that was misdirection. So giving people the thought that it was going to be something serious and then turning into awkward comedy. It's to make it funnier. But if I provide a screenshot of something, like for her, that gives an implication that whatever I'm working on is going to have her in it, which would then give away the last third of a video leading up to that, where I like the idea of it coming out of nowhere. That was part of the joke for it. So because of that, if I start doing screenshots, it's one of the reasons that a lot of the previews I've done for this, when I've shown it at conventions and stuff, have always been the same sections, because then I'm always showing the same section and not where it goes from there. But so yeah, that's my thought on it.
Magic
Anyway.
and you. You.
I got puppered.
So the idea for having her arm out here is I didn't know how I wanted her to catch him. I wanted him to hit her, but I wasn't sure how to go further than that. So the idea was, if I have her arm out, I could have him basically self-clothesline himself, and then grapple onto the arm.
His teeth. Can bite her. Arf. He's a doggo.
No. I can almost guarantee you that whatever mouth flexes he has isn't going to work for that.
Just rip her face off. He's a big old vicious dog.
Spike should be in here, actually.
I will say that when I started watching your live streams, it did kind of take some magic away from the videos. Like, I still enjoyed the videos, but the characters stopped being as alive seeming.
Because yeah, you're seeing
weird.
all the behind the scenes, how
Yeah.
things are made.
It's kind of like watching a claymation and thinking, oh, it's magical, mystical land, but then watching some dude like slowly move the characters bit by bit for hours on end kind of takes some of that magic away.
It for me, it takes me a couple years, and then I'll be able to watch stuff that I've done and not see it like that. Or if I have a final product that has some very, very strong lighting that I can't preview, like the Moment of Peace, I can't preview it with all the normal lighting. So once it's actually rendered, then I'm actually able to see it how it's supposed to be viewed. And then sometimes I still get that feeling that it's different. And with Moment of Peace, that was actually that was that way, because there was no way for me to preview it to make it look like it was going to look in final. So for this one, I'm going to grab her from here, and we're going to just pull her back a teeny bit. It's just to give a little bit of body motion for a little work. The hand, I want to keep at its... Oh no, so that would be in. At its old position. The finger bent is fine. Oh no, actually... Let's actually bend her arm down a little bit. I have to be careful with this arm though, because like I mentioned before, when you hit extreme, so things act, and the hands are just that way. But I ran into the issue a lot with the Rathalos, which actually is, I think, possibly Friday I might try to start working on another Rathalos one. Because I haven't made one for about a month. The contest that I ran before on the Rathalos account, the final Rathalos just delivered yesterday. But it was delivering to Canada, so it just took like weeks to go through customs.
Yeah, it's good they all made it.
Yeah. The one guy I messaged him, I'm like, it's got it yesterday. I'm like, just want to double check. And he says, oh yeah, I was in the middle of moving, so technically I just couldn't let you know. And I said, okay, that's good, because he was probably getting hungry. And I said, he goes, okay, I'll feed him lots of food. I said, well, he's a big fan of Optonoth, which is the big beast thing. Optonoth and Oreos. So I want to see if he puts Oreos in the pictures now.
Yes. That would be incredible. I would say watching you make videos is kind of like watching somebody make sausage. Like, you're still going to enjoy the sausage because sausage is delicious. But maybe not as much as if you hadn't watched them make the sausage. You like my sausage comparison?
Okay, good. There's context.
Why do you do this to me?
Well, you took your time saying it. Well, you could have probably came up with something better than a sausage.
You don't like me comparing sausages? Okay. That one was intentional. Oh.
Oh, look at her flexing her muscles. Just,
It's a strong one.
Oh.
I think she's taken some food to bulk up.
She been taking steroids?
I don't know. She's still got scrawny arms, but something's not right. She's been taking the magic meds.
Oh, I can't actually scale those.
I still love. I think that's
She's shrunk.
one of my favorite scenes from TF2 was when he's the scout, and he's just got that standard model with the scrawny arms, and he's just like flexing. Like, oh, look at that! He's got like no muscle mass. You're gonna get hit in the face with a dog. Yay, derps. Yay. See, somebody likes my comparison.
He said salsa, though. He said salsa before, and salsa sounds actually really good.
You like that one stuff.
Pica de Gala.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm thinking. I see him as similar
I don't know
enough.
if I've ever had it.
Really?
I've never had salsa.
It's just think of salsa, but where the main flavor from it is mainly cilantro. It's a very strong cilantro flavor, but it's also not as heavy. It's watery. It's not. There's no sauce that's mixed in for the tomato. It's mainly a lot of water, but the water absorbs a lot of the onion and the jalapeno and the cilantro. So, but I love it because it just tends to be less goopy and it's just more stuff. But I'll sit, or I used to just sit and eat a whole thing of it.
Yeah, no.
It's so good though. It's a salty heaven.
You went through a lot of it before you gave up eating a lot of chips.
Or yeah, before I just gave up snacking, because that's a snack and I don't snack anymore.
It's got pickles in there.
I eat lunch, dinner, and that is it. I don't consume any other calories on lunch and dinner. No snacking, no nothing in between. Coffee in the morning is 0 calorie.
I'm not gonna lie. When my food was in the microwave, I couldn't wait that long. I ate some pepperonis and some pickles while it was in the microwave.
You literally couldn't wait 2 minutes.
No, I was starving.
But if you, in those 2 minutes, would you die?
It's very possible.
I always, my brain, I always work off the mentality of, I'm hungry, sure, but between now and whenever I get whatever I want, am I gonna die? No. Then who gives a shit? I'll just wait.
If I get hungry, I get irritable. I try not to show it, but when I come through the door, I am like, put food in me before.
You just walk in the door.
Yes.
But you have, and remember that I go without breakfast.
Yeah.
I go for the full 18 hours. So by the time it comes around like 2 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I guess I can eat now.
I get irritable if I don't eat. I get like...
That's what coffee does. The coffee helps a lot.
Yeah. Like, I don't function before I've had my cup of coffee anymore. That's partly your fault.
I know.
I have to have a cup every morning now. I have a coffee cup that my work provided me, and I stain the crap out of it, so it's my cup now.
You don't wash it every
I
time?
wash it every time, but I've still managed to stain it. I try to scrub it with... I need to get like a magic eraser or something.
All my coffee cups, the one I had at work and everything, perfectly clean. No coffee
I
stains.
scrub it.
Do you leave coffee in it?
I take a while to drink the coffee. Sometimes
Well,
it
no.
gets cold before I finish it.
Well, that should be fine. It's more of if you leave it overnight.
No, I always rinse it after I finish.
Do you manually wash the rim of it?
Yeah. Like, I scrub it out with a paper towel.
Then you're using sludge.
It's whatever the K-Cup makes. It's like, sludge, yeah.
I've actually been watching a guy on YouTube that's big on coffee. Mm-hmm. And he's a snob on some of it, but he also gives really good information because he's been doing it for so long. And like him going through instant coffees was hilarious because he just drink it and be like, that is probably the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my life. And like with an English accent. He's been a lot of fun to watch. But he goes through a lot of those, like the intricacies of different coffee things, how to keep sludge out of your coffee when doing a French press. I tried that today, and actually I didn't have near as much sludge as normal. Though it takes twice as long to brew, which is weird because we think not, but it actually turned out better. So I will have to try that from now on. I also ordered an AeroPress because I want to try those out.
You go through with that French press and all these techniques and warming up the cylinder and everything, and the furthest I ever go with making coffee is at work. It's like plastic cup, go in hole, push down thing, hit strong button. That's probably why I get the sludge. Is I always hit the strong button because I want my coffee extra strong.
No, well, it's strong should be based on how much coffee beans you're using. That should be the only measure of how strong a coffee is. So if you hit the strong button but you're using the same amount of beans, then it is just some magic that it's doing that is probably just putting less water in. Because normally with the K-Cup, you're getting the most amount of coffee in its first drip, and then it's getting less and less as it goes. So it's probably just giving you less water.
No, you can actually adjust the amount of water.
But then I don't know what it's doing.
I don't know either, but it says strong on the button, and I believe it.
Because if you brew for longer amounts of time, you're going to get more bitter, not stronger. So that's what they say. If you're going to make it, you keep a consistent time, you just add more beans.
I don't know what it does. I always press the button because I like my coffee strong.
Interesting opinions on facts and stuff. No, not really. When I go to a YouTube channel and I subscribe for something, I'm usually subscribing because there's a certain type of content or something there that I'm interested in. And if I suddenly start getting a bunch of content that differs very heavily from that in a large amount or a large degree, it usually dissuades me from staying on it. So normally, I try to keep the YouTube channel to specific to animation stuff, so that the people that are there are getting consistent type content. That's why I like some of the gaming stuff I've done. I do very infrequently if I put it on there. So I've just been trying to keep it like that. But also it's just, I stream and then I just go about my daily life other than this. Like, it's not like I live this on the outside or something. So trying to set up something other than the animation stuff just sounds like more work than I want to do. Maybe in the future. It's one reason like the Rathlow stuff exists. The Rathlow stuff exists because when ponies start slowing down enough, I want to have something else I can do. And so I now have two things that I can do evenly. So
Gotta keep the Phantom alive by yourself. You gotta do it
well, no, it's more
while
of
you're lonesome.
if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, you're going to get bored of it. And I was getting to that, so it was nice having a change of pace, which has helped me not get motivated to do the other stuff again. But also, it's if you keep chasing something that's slowing down, you're eventually going to trace it so long that it's just you're going to be derailed, whether or not the fandom is. So I want to have something else so that if the pony thing slows down to where it's feeling like, because like when you have a channel like this, you're growing, and then if the fandom starts slowing down, your growth speed slows down. That's for the reason that if you look at like most recent videos, when I put them out, almost everyone I put out, I've lost subscribers the day I put it out, because when I put out a video, people that realize they've been subbed to me are now realizing that I'm not a brony anymore, and they unsub. So you're going to start seeing less of an increase or a decrease over time. And so if I don't have something else that's on the side to help keep that or maintain that, it's going to start feeling like I am, even if I'm doing the same thing, the same quality, or even better, if it's not seeing that same trending, it's demotivating. So I want to have something else that I can attach to. And the Wrathful's account's been kind of doing that, because that's actually been a large following on the Twitter account. That's just a lot of fun.
Start making Five Nights at Freddy videos. Or is that not a thing anymore? I don't know.
There's still like a subset of people that make a lot of stuff for it, but I've never been a fan of it myself.
I played the first 2 games, but I didn't really think too much of them.
I never played any of them. I'm not a fan of horror. Feels like the bottom of her eyes.
I remember playing
Closed.
a lot of horror. Like, I played a lot of Lovecraftian games when I was a little kid. Like Lovecraftian horror, like vampires and Aztec zombies and stuff.
And you.
So I kind of enjoy that stuff still. I just don't. I think the only kind of film I legit do not like, as far as horror is concerned, is movies like Final Destination or Saw.
Oh, ones that are just they're fear through gore.
Yeah,
I was watching a thing though.
Those.
Do you know how much budget the first Saw had?
Probably next to nothing.
$60,000.
Yeah, that's next
And
to nothing.
for the money it made, astronomical.
Yeah.
Blair Witch.
No, I would imagine that was next to nothing.
That was, I think, that was like 4-digit number.
Yeah.
It had no budget, but they found a niche and they went with it, and it was super successful for it.
Because people were kind of into those ghosts. That was when Ghost Hunters and stuff was starting to get some traction.
Paranormal Activity was, I think, another one that was just a few $1,000s was their whole budget. And that one was very, very successful, though there's a lot of contention about it regarding people saying it wasn't good and whatever. But if you make money, you make money.
I remember watching it in theaters. I thought it was meh.
You.
I never watched I know there were sequels. I never watched the sequels.
I think I've only seen like 2-3 horror movies in my life. I'm not a big fan of it. I've been okay with like Evil Dead because it's more of a comedy in the end.
The first one was supposed to be taken
but it
seriously,
wasn't.
but it wasn't.
It
And
was
then the second
funny.
one was funny.
But it depends. If you're with a bunch of people that are taking it seriously as a horror movie, it might be more scary. But when I was with a bunch of people watching it that were all laughing the whole way through, so then it was just funny.
Yeah, Evil Dead's just fun.
But that one, or some of the just old horror movies, because they're not really that horror, like they're not scary, because it's now we're so used to, and we're so desensitized by 3D graphics and stuff now.
Like the old vampire movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Like yeah. It really depends on because there's such a large variety of horror films. Like there's a lot of different levels of horror films.
To me, the best ones are ones that, like, have you ever heard of Get Out?
I have. I've heard.
It was directed by Peele. I forgot his name.
From Key and Peele.
Yeah. He actually, I don't know if he wrote it, but I think he actually wrote it, but he was the director for it. It was his first movie that he directed, and ended up winning, I think, a couple Academy Awards or Oscars, and it's considered one of the best horror movies out there. and it's on a recommended list for a lot of stuff. I'm not a fan of horror, but it's one of the on a list of movies you should see before you die, because it's just really, really well done.
I mean, I watched the movie Parasite when I was back visiting my parents last, and it's kind of a horror film, but it's kind of not. It's more of like a thought film with horror moments in it, but I don't even want to call them that. It's more like just desperate people going to desperate ends. But it's a good film. But yeah, that's just like any kind of like horror film I cannot stand. Like, just keep the Saws and the Final Destinations and movies like that.
Where gore is meant to,
yeah,
by discuss like our Human Centipede, stuff like that.
No, I have zero.
People watch it because they want to see the extremes that people go to with some of this
I
stuff.
feel like they're what's the word? Like they're like, what's the word I'm looking for? It starts with an S. Where people watch these films of like people just being tortured because they I don't know, they're weird. I can't remember the name of it, but I kind of feel like they're just that, but with a movie budget, with a Hollywood budget. I don't know. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a.
I mean, give me a werewolf film or something, that's fine. Just whatever.
But yeah, if I have to choose a movie to watch, I like suspense as long as it's not horror suspense.
Like, what about like a Jason film?
The Jason films were the early ones, maybe not, but some of the later ones actually started mixing in elements of comedy to break it up, because he's just the big hulking guy that can't die. Like Jason X, I thought was funny. It was entertaining, but I still didn't like the parts where the murder parts. All the stuff in between was fine. It has actually one of my favorite movie moments in there when there was the hologram of chicks on. They're like, do you want to have premarital sex? And then he just like puts the one in the sleeping bag and beats the other one with it. That was an amazing scene. But I'm not. No, I don't like those. I like suspense if it's like a mystery where there's a film that comes in with a lot of questions, like. Have you ever seen, like, my favorite kind of movies are, it's the one where an alien species lands on the planet and this woman is trying to communicate with them. And so she's trying to learn their language. Mm-hmm. So she's a linguist that's brought in. Mm-hmm. And I forgot what I don't know if anybody here remembers.
I feel like I have a vague recollection.
The name of that. I went and saw it in theaters, and it was a movie that I knew nothing about.
Yeah.
And it's one of those movies that if you know nothing about it going in, it is glorious. It was an amazing movie of how they wrote it. And I can't say anything about it because it gives the whole movie away. But the way that they did it left me blown away at the end. So, and I wish I could remember.
Well, I was been thinking it's like movies like Alien or Predator or something like that. I like those movies. Okay, those don't bother me.
Arrival.
Oh, I have seen that. Yes. I wouldn't consider that a horror film. No,
I'm not saying it's horror. It's a horror film, but it's a one where it has a huge number of questions, and where all of them are answered in an immensely short amount of time, where it's a realization moment, and where all these details come together to make a story. And I love it when they can do that, where you're telling a story through more than just what's said, more than what's just more than just the writing. It's through the presentation, the small details, the little things along the way, so that when you almost have to watch it a second time to understand it. Those are my favorite kind of movies.
I kind of can't remember the twist at the end.
But I don't want to say anything because if you haven't seen that movie, it's not scary in any way. It has moments of where it's creepy, and that you're looking, the way they present the aliens and some of the aspects just makes you get like that hair in the back of your neck up, because it feels so unnatural and non-human, what you're used to. But the story is beautiful in how it's told, and it's such a simple premise on how everything goes. I would definitely recommend it if you're able to give it a watch. I went and saw it in theaters, and I almost wish it wouldn't. It's like Ender's Game was another one that's like that. If you don't know anything going in, is great, but then you can't watch it a second time because you lose it.
Who would have guessed the kid with the clown? On the DNA level, he was a clown. That's the.
Oh yeah. Trying to think of other movies that were like that. Ender's Game was and Arrival were the two that I can think of off the top of my head. The Sherlock Holmes, the newer ones, actually had a few moments that were like that. Those were written very, very well for letting you try to develop a story, especially if you don't know the original Sherlock Holmes stories, which I didn't.
I mean, any of the M. Night Shyamalan films are like that, but they happen so much that it's so predictable that it's not...
Yeah, because you're looking for the twist. Like The Village.
Yeah.
I figured out the twist to that halfway through, and then it ruined the whole movie.
He did it with The Sixth Sense, and then after
The Sixth Sense was brilliantly well done.
Gave me a jerk.
No, The Sixth Sense was well done, but that was also one of his first ones with a twist. So,
so
The Village, I figured it out partway through. The Happening, the twist was stupid, and the movie was stupid. It wasn't that good. Lady in the Water was... That didn't even really have a twist. The twist in the end was just like a Deus Ex Machina, so it just didn't feel right, and that wasn't a good movie. I thought he had a different one that came out more recently.
There were Signs where the aliens got hurt by water, which I guess was...
I've never seen Signs, but I don't really care anymore because I know the whole thing. Yeah. I know the premise of it. But that was also because like some of those alien movies kind of creep me out. That's why Arrival was surprising for me, because it was an alien movie. And Arrival reminded me a lot of Torchwood. Torchwood Season 3, Children of Earth. And in there, because it was about these tentacle-like creatures that hide behind... or that are within these set containers so that they can breathe behind fog and smoke. And so you only see the tentacles come through, which is very similar to what Arrival does. And so I had a lot of nostalgia for for Children of Earth.
I've still never seen Torchwood past episode 1.
Children of Earth is... Season 3 is another one of those that has twists through it that are really good. When you take a series that is notoriously 45-minute episodes like throughout, and... 10 for a season and 45 minutes. And then for the third season, they just did 5 one-hour episodes that all are for one 5-hour movie. The change was so drastic, but it was so good.
I kind of need to get caught up on Doctor Who.
I'm way more behind too, but I just wasn't liking the writing, so I didn't get into the last season. I still own one of the whole seasons. I haven't even finished it yet. I think I'm only like 2 episodes from the end though.
The actor playing the Doctor is good.
She's amazing. I love her.
The writing has been...
but it was because Moffat was great at directing and writing, and now he's not there anymore. Yeah. So if it wasn't for her, I think that it would be doing worse, but she plays that character perfectly. Yeah. I thought was going to be the opposite. I thought that she was going to try to fill shoes that well, it's great to have a woman go into the role. It's almost like Duke Nukem Forever, where you have an expectation that you're never going to be able to meet because people are going to expect so much of you. But then she went and blew everybody away.
Yeah, I think the problem with Duke Nukem Forever is people got exactly what they expected, and then they realized they were 15 years older and didn't care about those kind of jokes anymore.
Well, and the game felt like it was from that time period, too. If you had played the original games, it actually was very similar to that. Mm-hmm. So they nailed that, but that's not today anymore. Not just jokes-wise, just the whole game feel.
It was a shallow character. And
you build it up that much that you expect perfection. And they basically just said, nope, we're done. We're going to get it out. And I think I finished it, but it wasn't even... I can't even remember the ending because it was just... shallow.
I finished I know there were expansions, I never touched them. I did finish the original, but I remember there were just parts of that game that just were not enjoyable, like at all. Some of them were the opposite of enjoyable. Like I think there's this whole part where you're just shooting women, like pregnant women all over the place. You're just killing them dead. That's not fun for me. That's a horrible, horrible part of the game. I don't know who that's for. That game was just awful.
No, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either.
I'd argue that it was bad.
Oh, another, actually, if you're and thinking about games that have a great story, not just movies, Horizon Zero Dawn, that is a game that if you can play it, read everything, and just pay attention to the story, and it is an absolutely amazing story. That game, I mean, the gameplay was great, and the art style was great, but the story was its best part. And so it was icing on a cake that was already delicious. So, and that's actually coming to PC soon.
There was another PC game we were telling to get, though.
Yeah, which actually reminds me, for anybody here, I have still a bunch of keys for free games.
Is one of them Dragon Quest?
No.
Darn.
No, so I have a bunch of keys. So all these games I have keys for, and I already own. But they're from like Humble Bundle, and then these last two are because I'm a gold member on Green Man Gaming. I literally got them for free in the last couple weeks, so I have the keys for those too. And so if there's any games here that you would like to have, I can send you a key. I mean, I'm not going to send anybody like 15 keys individually, but if there is like, if you're like, oh, I want Hitman 2, this is not the new Hitman 2 either. It's like the older Hitman 2.
That's confusing.
But yeah. But if there's any on there that you would like, let me know.
No.
And I will send you a key.
I bought this War of Mine with intention to play it, and then I've never played it.
I think I got it in an old Humble Bundle, and then I just got it for free from the Green Man sale.
No.
Green Man updated their ooh, that is not Green Man, that is Gren.
I have heard things.
I already own it, so all those games I already own.
I got so many games though.
No, but I buy most of my games from here. If you haven't actually heard of Green Man Gaming, it is a better. You'll get better sales on there, or better or different sales than what Steam has, because usually more of the money goes to the creator, the people that made the game. So, so they're great for that. But I've bought lots of stuff on here, so I have a huge list here. But the one cool thing is like I get a discount on Horizon Zero Dawn, even though the game's not out yet. I wonder if they have any. Okay, so Evil Genius was the free one for right now, but I've already got it. But I have the key on the side. But I like this sales stuff they do, because it's actually like right now I can just be like, oh, this is 20% off, and just go boop, and then now the whole game's 27% off. So, but yeah, this game right here, one of my favorite games of all time. It's amazing, and I never played the DLC, so I kind of want to buy it again, but I feel like it'd be a long game to go through just to do that. No, if you want The Sims 3, it'll come with I think there's like 3 or 4 different DLCs. You can have it. The only thing is, it is a key for Origin. It is not a key for Steam.
I think they'll work though. I have taken keys from Origin and used them on Steam, and it put it right up.
Maybe. I'm not going to say one way or another on it, but
yeah.
If you don't mind Origin key, you can have it. I was going to give them to my sister, but then I found out that she had almost, I think, all but one of the DLCs. So, yeah, the whole point of this list is I've had some of these for years, and they've just been sitting unused in Humble Bundle. So I have no problem giving any of this to people. That's the whole reason this list exists, is because I was just trying to get it together. The only one that's been given away right now is Cities in Motion. So if you give me a sec here, I can.
It's gonna be hard to give away just an expansion pack to Age of Empires 2.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't have. I think I had the game, or I have the game and the expansion, but I don't know how I got just the expansion.
Yeah, and they've re-released that game twice in like HD versions and like extended versions and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. How do I... There's a way... Oh, not... Okay, keys. Hide redeemed. Yeah, because that's what it says here. I really appreciate it. How do I get the key? I'm working on it. I can send you a DM on here. I just have to check because Sims is the complicated one. Okay, so again, this is going to be Origin. You can definitely try putting it in
Steam, see what it throws back at.
Oh, you know what? Can I? Oh, I can. Okay. I didn't know if I could whisper you on.
I think
Nope,
it
I can't.
open up the window.
On. Okay, cool. No, I can't send it to you. I'm using a different program for talking. So there we go. Is this there? No, yeah, it's not gonna. Okay, so there's your key for. Hold on, let me get back to this. For that's for Sims 3. This is for the high-end loft stuff key, and there's the one for late night stuff, or late night key. That's all it says, whatever that means. Oh, I don't have that set up, blurred. Whatever you're trying to do.
Just trying to get some horses in this chat.
Maybe. Yeah, so have fun. I don't even know when I got that key, but it was probably like 5-6 years ago, or whenever Sims 3 was relevant. I think they're in Sims 4 now.
I have no idea. I haven't played Sims since Sims 2.
Yeah. But yeah, it's... And I have more keys than that, too. I just have lost them over time. So that's just what I have right now. I don't want to have her move so much because it's a very short amount of time to move that much. Nap time?
Yeah, a little bit. Also,
Hmm?
nap time. You're already kind of fast.
Hmm?
You're already kind of fast.
Oh yeah, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
I do stop at 8. I forgot about that. I was wondering, I'm like, stream feels longer for some reason. For some reason my brain was in Friday mode. So yeah, technically I'm over. I cut it a little earlier on Tuesdays because I work the next day. So yeah. So yeah. Well, no, normally it's just so I have time to decompress and kind of do my own thing. Otherwise, it feels like I used to do 4 hours on Tuesday sometimes, and doing that, like I would basically be done streaming, go to bed, and then wake up and go to work again. So I need a little bit of brain time. I might play a little Satisfactory. But I made some more progress on keyframing. Keyframing is the hardest and longest time, or the most time-consuming part of that video making, anyway. So, so cool. Feed the addiction. I have to right now. I want to get my oil set up, and if you do it right, I need to unlock a couple more hard drives because apparently I thought I had unlocked it, but I haven't unlocked diluted fuel yet. And if you unlock diluted fuel and use it for making diluted fuel to make turbo fuel, you can gain just like stupid amounts of energy off of very little oil. And so I want to do that because nuclear power is just something that if I start scaling that up, it's going to be messier to deal with. I had an issue yesterday where all my power went out, and I saw the drop, and the drop was by about 2,700 or 2,500 megawatts. I'm like, okay, well, one of my nuclear power plants went down. Why would that go down? It has its own factory to build stuff. And so I went over there and I figured out that when I had changed stuff in my main base, which was where the sulfur was, and the sulfur is then loaded on a train that's brought to the nuclear facility to make sulfuric acid, that I had not had it connected. So it was running off of this amount that it had built up. And eventually that ran out, and then it shut off the power. So I went and fixed that. It took me like an hour and a half to trace back that solution. So it went about another 2 hours after that, and then it shut down again. I'm like, freaking kidding me. Well, I built a new power plant, and when I did it, I had accidentally forgot to reconnect the power input to one of the power plants. And so it was just stupid, simple stuff. I have mine out in the middle of a lake. The nuclear reactors themselves aren't radioactive. It's the energy that goes to it will make it radioactive. But I wanted to keep my my nuclear waste way out of the way, because if you build up enough of it, and my storage location is enough for 2.56 million barrels of nuclear waste, and at the speed of about one container or 3 containers filling every 72 hours in game, it would take me like thousands of hours in game to max these. That means if I scale up, it's going to start slowing it down even more. But when you get enough radiation in one spot, it can spread up to 400 meters. So I wanted to make sure that this was far enough out in the water that I wasn't going to be accidentally walking by it. So it's literally just out in the ocean. You can just see a building way out in the distance. I call it my nuclear Guantanamo. So I have a belt that I can ride my way there, but it's not safe to go there. It's so close to the edge of the map that if I go past the edge of the containers, I start dying from going off the edge. So, but yeah, I'm gonna probably go play that. I might pop into the Discord chat for a little bit to play some, because I know some people there enjoy watching it. I just want to stream it on here because I'm gonna be done with that. So, all right, yeah. Have a good week. Where's the kitty? There's the kitty. And yeah, have a good one. Bye-bye. Oh, nice little peaceful music to end it on.